Today we're going to talk about your horse's nutrition. There are many things to consider when thinking about what you're going to feed your horse, and it's important to know that horses are fed based on a few key concepts. First, we're going to look at your horse's age. Age is important because both young and old horses may have special requirements and regulations associated with their food. Older horses may develop issues maintaining a healthy weight, and young horses need different levels of nutrients to develop healthily. They also need their growth monitored in relation to their nutrition to prevent common growth-related problems. The next thing we'll look at is your horse's weight. Weight is important because it will determine how much food your horse needs daily. As a horse owner, you should always try to have an estimate of your horse's current weight. You can find out how much your horse weighs by using a special measuring tape like the Neutrino one pictured here. There are directions for calculating your horse's weight printed on the inside of the tape. Most professionals will have a weight tape laying around, so ask your trainer or manager to help you measure your horse. The next thing we'll look at is your horse's body condition score. That refers to the physical state of your horse's body. Most commonly used, as pictured next, will be the Henneke Body Condition Scoring System, which rates your horse from 1 to 9. 1 is extremely thin and can be life-threatening, and 9 is characterized as extremely overweight or obese. Most healthy horses will fall between a 4 and a 7, depending on breed and discipline. Your horse's current body condition score will tell you and your support team what additional management your horse may need. The fourth thing we'll look at is your horse's maintenance requirements. Horses all have different maintenance requirements. Some horses struggle to keep weight on naturally. For example, they may have nervous tendencies like pacing or weaving, and they may struggle to maintain a healthy weight. Other horses easily gain and maintain weight and are fairly quiet, and they need less maintenance. Another important consideration is your horse's workload. Horses who are in intense work will need different feed than horses who are in low intensity work. Each level of work has different energy requirements and supplemental needs. Keep an eye on your horse's weight as you continue work to make sure that they stay at a healthy weight. Your trainer or barn manager will be able to help you find a specific balance that keeps your horse at a healthy weight for its energy requirements. Finally, it's important to keep in mind that certain medical conditions, especially metabolic ones, may need special nutrition management. Some horses have trouble digesting or working off sugars and need low sugar diets and limited treats. There are also conditions like Cushing's, for example, that will also affect how your horse will need to be fed. If your horse has one of these metabolic-related problems, consult your vet to come up with a treatment and management plan. As a recap, professionals will generally look at your horse's age, weight, body condition score, maintenance requirements, workload, and any medical requirements that your horse may have in determining their feed. While you may not be in charge of feeding your horse on a daily basis, it's still very important to know how horses are fed and why. We're going to go over a few rules of feeding and why they're important to your horse. The first rule we're going to cover is feed little and often. Horses have evolved over time to have smaller stomachs due to their feeding habits. They are what is known as continuous grazers, meaning that they naturally consume multiple small meals a day as opposed to a few large portions. Feeding too much at a time limits how efficiently your horse can digest, and it may result in less effective nutrient absorption, so smaller meals are ideal. The second rule to consider is to feed at consistent times. Creating a consistent feed schedule is important in keeping your horse healthy. Just like us, horses learn their daily routines. Their bodies know when it's time for them to eat, and they will expect to be fed within that time frame. As they anticipate feeding times, their stomach will produce the necessary digestive enzymes and acids needed to break down their food. Most horses won't be dramatically affected by a slightly delayed feed time, but some horses who are more prone to colic or ulcers can be more sensitive and show signs of damage or discomfort over time. Horses do best with consistent routines, so it's best to limit the risk and stick to consistent feeding times. The next thing we're going to look at is 50% fiber. The number one priority of your horse's diet should be forages. Forages include pasture and hay, which is your horse's primary fiber sources. Your horse's diet should be made up of at least 50% forage. Horses with a high fiber diet have healthier digestive tracts as forages contain a lot of vital nutrients. They help with water retention, and they also help control the rate of digestion and nutrient absorption. They also help neutralize stomach acid, which is why access to forage for the majority of the day is very beneficial. The fourth rule is to check your horse's teeth regularly. Over time, your horses grind down their teeth and they can become sharp or angled in a way that makes chewing and swallowing uncomfortable for them. Have an adult like your trainer or barn manager check your horse's teeth to see if they need to be done. Normally, your horse will have its teeth done once or twice a year, but some horses need additional maintenance to stay comfortable. One of the most important rules is to feed your horse by weight, not volume. Feed rations are usually calculated using your horse's body weight, meaning that we feed a certain percent of your horse's body weight to them daily. In order to do that correctly, we need to know the weight of the feed. It's also important to consider that different types of feed and different types of hay have different densities, so 1 quart of oats is going to weigh differently than 1 quart of pellets would. Another extremely important rule is that you need to make changes to your horse's food very gradually. As we mentioned, horses have extremely sensitive stomachs. The bacteria in charge of maintaining a healthy digestive tract gets used to the type and amount of food being given to your horse. Changing that too quickly can lead to very serious changes in the gut and can be life-threatening. Talk to your trainer or barn owner about creating a successful feed ration and making correct changes when needed. Even if you aren't the person in charge of feeding your horse, it is very important to know what your horse is eating. Next, you need to always provide your horse with clean, fresh water. Your horse can consume from 5 to 10 gallons of water daily depending on their size, workload, temperature, and humidity. Having fresh water available is crucial for keeping your horse hydrated and keeping their digestive system healthy and flowing. It's also important to keep your water buckets clean. Water quality can influence their willingness to drink water and stay hydrated. Keep an eye on your horse's drinking habits so that you will be able to notice when something has changed for them. It could point to something changing about their water or their health. Finally, talk to your vet or your trainer or barn manager about keeping your horse on a proper deworming and vaccination schedule. Both unvaccinated horses and horses with high parasite loads are more likely to need to spend energy to maintain their health. Both of those circumstances can influence your horse's nutrient absorption and their body condition score. As a recap, some of the most important rules you need to know are 1. Feed little and often. 2. Feed at consistent times. 3. 50% fiber diet. 4. Check teeth regularly. 5. Feed by weight, not volume. 6. Make changes gradually. 7. Always offer clean water. And 8. Maintain a proper deworming and vaccination schedule. Thanks for watching.